Hey, you two. Well, I apologize. I'm a little late with this review. I am. Well, I had to debate. I was going back and forth. Do I want to review the show? Or do I don't want to review it? Right? Because I've done basically. I think I've done every season since this show began. 4 seasons. But I am so out of practice now. I think they skipped 1 year, or it seems like it's been 2 years since I've done this. But I do remember now how much I enjoyed this show and the characters. So I don't think it harms me to follow this family, right? We can follow it together. Okay, so this is not my primary thing. I don't do a lot of reviews, but many times when you're known for a certain thing, if you try to do something else, then people are not really watching you for that. So that people are not used to me doing a lot of reviews. But this has been my one of my two shows that I really got into. The one Greenleaf is no longer, and now this new one. I mean, then Queen Sugar, and it looks like there's going to be another show that I might be interested in with the lady from Greenleaf. We'll see. Anyway, so we're here to talk about Greenleaf. I mean, see, keep confusing them. Both own projects. We're here to talk about Queen Sugar season 5. Okay. So they make a point to someone receives a call or something, letting us know that COVID is now present, but primarily in different countries. So they make a point of letting us know this is late February 2020, right? So we're clear on where they are in history. So at first I said, well, if COVID is here, why aren't they all wearing masks? Well, in February of last year, nobody was wearing masks yet. We were just getting the news that this disease was overtaking the whole world, actually. All right, so there are no masks in this episode. It opens with Nova burning sage, praying, and doing like a ceremony, which included cutting off her dreadlocks. Nova's a spiritual woman. I don't know exactly what her beliefs are, but apparently this thing of cutting her hair off is a kind of a big deal for her. But she does it in privacy. Her and her man, I think the man's name is Calvin. You remember when this thing first started, the first scene was those two having sex. Calvin, if I get his name wrong, forgive me. Calvin and Nova, right? But their relationship was always a secret because Calvin is a white police officer. Obviously, Nova is a black woman who's also an activist. So they were not comfortable with that. Also, Calvin was a married man in the first season. So now he has left his wife. Him and Nova are living their life out loud. So they're not keeping it a secret from anybody in Nova's family or the community. The only hurdle they have left is his family, but we'll get to that. Okay, Ralph and Darla are living together. She's there, at least she's in the bed at the house. They seem very happy. You know, I've struggled with the relationship between Ralph and Darla. I didn't think he was the best man for her because he seemed to be so angry through most of this series, right? And he seems to be so high maintenance, and it seems to be so judgmental. And I just had a lot of harsh views of Ralph up until now. So I don't know if he's going to be a more suitable husband for her. Let's hope for the best for them. I like Darla. She's a recovering woman. They fell out. The main thing before was her past, what she did when they had broken up. He went to prison for a crime, and she was left on her own, and she got hooked into drugs and then prostitution, right? And he was very hard on her about the things she did while he was away, because the men in the town knew what she did. I'm not totally sure what St. Joe, how big this place is. It seems to be sometimes a very small community, just a farming community with a few stores downtown kind of thing. And sometimes it seems to be a little bigger than that. So I'm not totally clear on how they're presenting that. Okay, Aunt Vi and Hollywood are catering this festival that Charlie is organizing. This is for apparently Saint Joe was actually the original name was Saint Josephine, and it was named after an African American woman, right? And so they want to celebrate that, and they'll have an annual festival. So Charlie's organizing this. She's now a part of the city council, and Vi, she has her restaurant now. We have to remember some things from last season. Vi's got a thriving restaurant now, or catering. Was it a sit down? Yeah, I think she had the whole restaurant open, and they also do catering. So they're catering this big event. So Hollywood's in there. They're very much in love, Hollywood and Vi. I like that relationship. It's always been pretty good. She's a little older than him, but they've always been very much in love. And he is hot to trot, right? Meaning he's being very sexual towards her. She can hardly get her cakes together, kind of thing. So everybody's kind of kumbaya so far. They're starting this off with all the family members getting along together. Everybody's happy, but as we know, this is a dramatic series. So I guess we just have to appreciate the moment. This is where they're starting off. Okay, so Ralph and Darla are happy. Vi and Hollywood are happy. Nova and her boyfriend, what's his name? Calvin, are happy. So far, all these relationships are happy. We didn't see Micah's little girlfriend. Remember, he had a girlfriend, but he went off to college, from what I remember, and I don't know that she did. We'll get to Micah in a minute. Okay, he's in college now. The way they're presented, Micah's had some problems. He's a growing boy, and he's had some problems with police brutality and various things that involve resistance and problems with these cops in that town, right? So it sounds like Micah might be getting into some more trouble, but actually it's not trouble. Why he won't call his mother, why he won't come home, because the place is very close to him. He could come home, but he's making excuses why he's so busy he can't come. Well, he's starting college, and the thing is, he's pledging this fraternity. So apparently they are they're having him do things to pledge this fraternity, right? So it kind of seems like he's getting into something nefarious, but it really isn't that. It's actually just pledging. It makes me nervous, this thing about pledging stuff, because I think, oh shit, now they're going to have him doing stuff that's illegal or dangerous or, God forbid, anything sexual, but have him doing things to, what's it called, hazing. I just said, well, I hope he's not going to start off getting in trouble. Like, seems like when he gets involved with other people, he gets in trouble, right? But I was relieved to see that, no, I guess fraternities is a part of college life. So it's not a bad thing. Okay, next big thing is the entire family, everybody except Micah, shows up for the sentencing of Miss Frances. Y'all remember Miss Frances, the evil woman? She's used to running things, and then she had Charlie's factory, her mill, burned to the ground, right? And they caught her. And so the last time we saw them, they had arrested her, right? Well, now she's being sentenced. She comes into the courtroom looking like a hillbilly, all the makeup and all this stuff. Although she was never a beautiful woman. Let's face it, she's in her 70s, maybe possibly 80s. But she comes before the court arrogantly, and she is sentenced to 7 years in prison. A woman her age, that's a serious sentence, right? So all the family is very happy about that. A lot of happiness going on here. Usually it seems like it was always tragedy and stuff. But this is only the first episode, so we'll see. Okay, next thing, the drama starts. So Ralph gets a letter. He gets a letter he has to sign for, right? And in the letter, the people are imposing eminent domain. I believe that means that the city is going to take their property. Now, I believe that they pay them for the property, but it's not like a for-profit type of thing. So they pay them whatever the government decides that land is worth. But they have no desire to go anywhere. Nobody, they don't try to, they love St. Joe. And particularly Ralph loves this farm, which his father has given to him, a responsibility that has been in their family for generations, right? Anyway, he gets a letter, so his face starts to go, back to the regular Ralph. Okay, so they claim eminent domain. He goes and he tells, let me get to that. Nova is starting, Nova's the writer. She got in all that trouble last season about this book she wrote, which was a true book. I mean, they really did react to this book because she told perhaps what they considered to be family secrets. But, secrets kill. So I don't think what she did was so horrible. But she was pretty, she got in a lot of trouble with her family about that book. The book was successful, telling the story of her family and of St. Joe, but she fell out with almost everybody in the family. Nobody was speaking to her towards the end of that last season, right? So now they're all kumbaya. They're all made up now. And she is starting a website, which is actually like a local newspaper to document the goings on in St. Joe. She even gave it a name. What was the name of it? True Papers is called. All right, so she has to use her writing chops. Okay, I already said that Nova and her boyfriend are out of the closet now. They are living together. I don't know that they're married. I don't know if he's divorced yet, but he has definitely left his wife for Nova, and they've told everybody. So he is blending in with the crowd. Some of the ladies are a little rough on him because he's white and because he was a police officer. But in the general way, he seems to be blending in with the family. I do like that relationship as well. Because they were hiding it so long, and there was no reason to hide it. It's just another way to live. Charlie says, okay. Charlie, she's now part of the city council. Am I sounding monotone? I'm just going through my notes. Charlie now sits on the city council, right? So she has some local power. This is why she's able to organize that festival, and perhaps why she was able to get this route changed from these people coming right through her family's farm, claiming it for themselves and paying them whatever the government would pay them. The route gets changed. This is one of the complaints I have here about this first episode. The route gets, this is supposed to be a big deal that these people are claiming eminent domain, right? She's fighting with this woman, Parker, who is working with these freeway people. Her father is that, what's his name? Is his name? He's not a Bordelon. I forget their name. They got these names that are very similar. Boudreaux, right? I don't remember what his name is. Cat Daddy Boudreaux, whatever. This is his illegitimate daughter, a black woman or a biracial woman. She is going to be Charlie's nemesis. Anyway, that scene was so rushed because she gets up in the festival and announces that, okay, we've changed the route now. Damn, like that fast? Why? And they done emailed everybody. They emailed a lot of them at the festival or celebration. All the farmers are getting a text message. Ralph had got a letter saying that they're taking over their property. Next thing we see, almost in the same scene, is the woman getting up in front of everybody saying that, oh no, we have changed now the plans, and we're not going to run through your farm or through the Boudreaux farm or the Bordelon farm. We're going to run the freeway at this address. And then everyone in the celebration starts to realize, oh, wait a minute, that's the cemetery. So now her plan is to run and I think she's done this to be evil, because Charlie, one of the main reasons Charlie felt like they couldn't move that body, or Nova felt like, at least, they couldn't go through their farm is because they had dead people buried there, ancestors, including the father, right? So now she done moved it to where all the families are going to be, the bodies would have to be relocated so they can run a freeway through the cemetery. She's playing dirty. It's just rush. They're just too fast with all that, in my opinion. Uh, they're just seeing where Ralph and Nova are finally making up. Y'all remember how much he used to get on my nerves? I mean, he was just, I don't know. He really had a resentment about her telling, I forget the information about their mother and their father and whatever, all of their dirty laundry, shall we say. So now they're breaking up. He came to her because he had to come to her and tell her about the situation with the farms. She is running this, writing for this. She used to write for the local newspaper. So now she's going to have her own site called True Papers, right? But she's always been an activist. So they need to band together to stop this construction. I got to say something about Nova. Nova's body is totally different than it was last season. I mean, she was built like an hourglass last year. I mean, she had all the, sexy curve. She's gotten a lot bigger. So I don't know if she's pregnant, but it seems like a lot of change in her body, just in her whole body. She's gotten bigger. So maybe we'll get an announcement that she's actually pregnant in real life. Maybe they'll work that into the script, since she now have her a man. Okay, a judge decides in favor of Charlie, not Parker. So what did the judge decide? I forget what the judge decided. Yeah, that must have been the thing where they've changed the route. The judge decided that. And then this woman, okay, so the judge decided that the route would be changed from going through the farmer's land, right? That all happened way too quickly. Not explained at all, the process. And then the woman, her part in it was to get it switched to an alternate route through the cemetery, right? So there's two moves. But the initial move was a good in favor of Charlie, the judge. That woman has taken it and turned it into something else negative by running through the cemetery. All their ancestors are buried there, including, I believe, the slaves were buried there. It would have to be, because that one family owned the Boudreaux family, right? So their slavery was there in St. Joe at some point. Mr. Prosper, good to see old Mr. Prosper. He was sick last season. But Mr. Prosper has made a miraculous recovery. He is now helping Hollywood to build his new business. Hollywood, I think he's going to build some kind of rib shack or some hangout for men, like a man cave type restaurant, right? So all the men in there are helping him. Yeah, that looks good. That's like a community type thing where they're all pitching in. I don't know if they're all paid employees, because remember now, Hollywood has a lot of money, because he won a lawsuit from some rig he was working on. He helped finance Vi's thing, and now he's also starting his own business. All right, so Mr. Prosper's there. They're putting up drywall and all that. Darla hardly says anything. I mean, they didn't give Darla hardly any lines at all. It's one of my favorite characters. I just feel like they were treating her unfairly in the beginning. And since I have such a personal experience with that recovery and returning to society and all this kind of stuff, I always had a heart for Darla. So they seem to be happy together. But she said almost nothing in here until the very end. Excuse me. Hello? Hey! Somebody had the nerve to walk down the hall. Anyway, Charlie and Parker meet. It looks like this girl's going to be her nemesis. And Parker, who is the... Baby, come here. Come over here. Stay right there. Put the boot down. Put down the boom. There you go. There you go. Good boy. What was I just saying? Okay, they meet in like this warehouse thing, right? Or this is the mill, the burned out mill. And this woman is really determined to get this freeway through the town. She wants the town to grow. She feels like bringing the freeway through the middle of it will make it grow, and it will. I mean, because people are able to have access to the town. It's like a small town in the south somewhere. I think they're close to New Orleans. Anyway, her plan is to grow the town by bringing this freeway into town. Right, baby. Excuse me, I got to get rid of my baby. Come here. Come here, you ding ding. Okay. Oh no, I can't get up. I don't got no trousers on. Never mind. Okay, where were we at? Baby, stop. Charlie, because today meet. So Charlie wants to preserve St. Joe like it is. It's a farm town. They like their community. They have no desire to grow bigger. So Charlie's fight is to preserve the town as a farm town, as a mill town. And of course, she'll rebuild her mill. She has an investment, a physical investment, because she wants to run a mill out of there, a business out of there. And also, this is her roots from this town, sort of, kind of. Her father was from there, and she wants to preserve for the work for the farmers, including her brother Ralph. Come here, baby. Come here. Get your bum over here. You know your dad is getting old, and he's very easily distracted. Okay. So they're not going to agree on anything. Plus, this woman is very evil. You got to have a villain, you know. So they've chosen her well to be Charlie's nemesis. But so far, Charlie is winning. The woman walks away. She got a big old ass. The woman walks away, her snarky manner, and tells Charlie that this is the fight has just begun. Right. Okay. Nova has introduced. What's his name again? Is it Colin? Wait a minute. Calvin. Nova has introduced Calvin to her whole family, right? So they're out of the closet. He's no longer with his wife. I don't know if he's actually divorced or he is separated from his wife, but he is living with Nova, right? So they are part of the story now, that couple. But his grandfather is about to celebrate his 85th birthday. Now, these people are in the deep south. He's 85 years old. We can already guess what his attitudes towards interracial relationships is going to be, right? I'm thinking that, and Calvin is thinking the exact same thing. Nova said, "Oh, it'll be so great when I meet your family now," and he said, "My grandfather is not such a good person. This would have been a person who knows the old South, real old South, right?" But Nova feels confident. I know it's going to be rough. No one said it would be easy, but I still want to meet your family. We are a couple now. Calvin said he don't think it's a good idea. Okay. Michael pledges the fraternity. It seems kind of spooky in the beginning. I said, "Oh, hope I ain't gonna be spanking these boys and doing all this old crazy shit." People have died in this hazing stuff, but they don't show us any of that kind of stuff. They just show this a pledge, like a ceremony. They have masks on, and I'm saying, "Oh shit, he gonna get involved in some shit now." But no, if they take a mask off, they just hug each other. And I guess I never went to college, so I don't know anything what a fraternity even is. But this is some kind of process they have to go through. And this is why he has been so busy that he can't even call his mama. Right? But it doesn't look like it's necessarily a bad thing. So far, they have the festival, the Feast of St. Josephine. I don't know when the name changed from St. Josephine to St. Joe. It may be that the actual name of the city is St. Josephine, but they just shortened it to St. Joe. But whatever it is, they're going to celebrate this every year, right? So they're having their festival. The woman was a black woman, I think I already mentioned. And Charlie plans on having this every year. Right? She's sponsoring it. The last scene is so romantic. Ralph gets down on bended knee and proposes to his love of his life, Darla. And Darla, of course, says, well, not necessarily, of course. Well, she's always been in love with him. She says yes. This is going to be his wife. Right? That's the way they ended it, that people. Okay, I hope I did an okay job. I'm rusty. I'll tell you I'm rusty, but I do want to watch this with you guys. Right? This was like a favorite little family show. Talk to you next week for episode 2